Hello and welcome back to my backyard patio in sunny central Phoenix. I'm David, and today together we're going to be reminded that God is with us, that He is present even in the most difficult of circumstances. Now, to truly understand this, we need to go back to the very beginning of time when we see a pattern with God, that He is with His people through thick or thin. He kicks it off by speaking to Adam and Eve. He tells them to be fruitful, to multiply, to fill the earth, and to subdue it. He continues His conversations with Noah and Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and Moses and David and Isaiah and Jeremiah and Ezekiel and a whole host of other people throughout all of Scripture, because He wants them to know, He wants us to know that He is present in our lives. He is also present in His actions. He was present when it rained 40 days and 40 nights. He was present when He parted the Red Sea. He was present when the walls of Jericho fell down. He was present with Mary and Joseph on that beautiful night of the virgin birth. You see, God's acts and His words are recorded for us to make it unmistakably clear that God is with us, that He's never going to abandon us, nor is He going to forsake us. Now, this is more evidence of this comes through one person, where God's actions and His words meet. Now check this out. The name of this person was Emmanuel, which means God with us. He's also known as Jesus. And as we know, Jesus roamed the earth for a little over 30 years. And He was with His good buddies day and night for over 3. Not only did His buddies know Him well and the people that He came in touch with, but check this out. Nature, the demons, and diseases even knew that He was present on this earth. There's this beautiful story told of Him and His buddies being in a boat, and suddenly this storm comes upon them, and His friends are freaking out, thinking they're going to die because the waves are 30 feet high. Jesus gets up from a nap, looks around, and says, "Peace, and be still." And the waves come crashing down, and the sea becomes suddenly still. There's another story in which a man tormented by an army of demons is ostracized from society. He has to live in the caves up in the hills because he is so tormented. Jesus comes strolling around, and He sees him, and He wants the demons to come out of him. So Jesus commands the demons to come out of him, and they do. They hear His voice, and they're gone. And then lastly, there's this woman who's chronically ill. She's been bleeding for 12 years, and there's not a physician in sight who has any idea of what's going on. Jesus is strolling through this town one day, and this woman hears that Jesus is there, that He is present. She comes up to Him, touches His garment, and He says, "By your faith, you have been healed." Now, what's striking to me in this is in all 3 of these situations, each person or people were in extraordinarily difficult times. One thought they were going to die. One was in absolute agony, and the other was in absolute pain. And who was their answer? Jesus, because He was present. Shortly before Jesus left this earth, He was with His friends. And He said that something is very important. And it's important for us to understand this as well. He said to them, "I will be with you always until the end of the age." Now that's a promise that we will be able to rest on. You see, because even though Jesus isn't physically here walking the earth as He once did, He is still interceding on our behalf. He hears every prayer that we speak. His Spirit, which dwells inside of us, guides our decisions and comforts us in our time of need. So what does this mean for us? In today, many of us are experiencing very difficult circumstances and times. Well, first, it means that God is not dead, that He's not left you to fend for yourself, that He hasn't forgotten who you are, or that He has abandoned you. Rather, that God is with us, that He is beside us, quietly, understanding your anxious thoughts, understanding your next step, understanding the fear that may grip you. You see, He is with us in the uncertainty of times, in the anguish of our lives. He knows every hair on our head. He knows every thought before we think it, every word before we speak it, every action before we do it. He loves us without condition. And He promises us, He calls upon us, He begs us to rest in Him. For His yoke is easy and His burden is light. So what do? We trust that He is by us, that He hasn't left us. And we believe that He is with us until the end of the age. Until next time, we'll see you.